This video and Infinity Wars Classic are brought to you by our amazing Patreon supporters. Find out more at infinitywarsclassic.com and enjoy the video. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lightmare's first ever internal development tournament for November 2020. I'm your host, Jason OCE, and we have 8 participants here for the first ever Lightmare tournament. Welcome, everybody.
Ooh, hey, welcome.
Ooh, hello.
So,
I'm getting eliminated, I'm just saying that right now.
Good. So our tournament bracket has just been revealed. Let me go through and introduce to all the people at home exactly who they will be seeing today. So you have the man, the myth, the legend, the original Rift Runner, Agent Coil.
Hello, Infinity Multiverse.
His first opponent will be one of Lightmare's OG trainees who's come back for vengeance, Jacob.
Did you not hear me say I'm going to get eliminated first?
Well, I never said your quest for vengeance was going to be successful.
True.
Now we have the artist with heart who's incredibly smart, Kat.
Oh, thanks.
And the walking spiritual crescendo, ladies and gentlemen, Coriendo.
Crescendo, yeah, let's go.
Rhyme.
I'll take it.
On the other side of the bracket, we have the award-winning designer and almost as good as the chef, Ruben Covington.
Welcome, glad to be here, and I'll try not to crush too many hopes and dreams.
We'll see how far he gets. And now we have his opponent in the first round, the Tamer of Aragon. No, seriously, it's his dog's name, Leaf.
Good to be here.
We also have the playtester who will win by any means necessary, even if it means crashing your game, Nadine.
Thank you, Jason. Hi, everyone.
And their opponent will, of course, be it Dragonborn, Bloodborne, this uni student ain't here to play games, ladies and gentlemen, it's Nate.
Hello.
These will be our 8 contestants for the first round. This will be a best of 1 bracket with 8 participants, meaning that 3 wins is all that stands between you and ultimate glory. And coming in with
free
the
lunch.
ultimate prize. You ruined my setup, you...
Oh, I did! The ultimate lunch.
So coming with ultimate glory is an all-expense paid lunch delivery of your choice. Crashes will result in a remake unless a significant advantage is present, and the judges will be ready on standby to make any competitive rulings should there be any problems. Ladies and gentlemen, we have until the end of tomorrow to complete these games. It is up to you on how you wish to go through them. Best of luck, and may the best player win.
Hype is
Okay,
real.
let's go.
Yeah. Rock and roll. I'm ready.
As an editor's note, both players are asked to record their screens, and then I edit up the video to showcase the most exciting and eventful parts of the games, taking it through turn by turn, and then I go through and watch the entire games and do the commentary for them. I hope you enjoy. And here we are, jumping into Game 1, Jacob versus Agent Coil. Some interesting choices for commanders coming out here. First off, Agent Coil going with 2 Hakim the Corrupted and a Death Worshipper. Definitely going to get more and more powerful as the game goes on. Meanwhile, Jacob going for an interesting mix of Harahel and Kraos, which are the Champion of Virtue and Champion of Ruin, respectively. And of course, Aletta the Immortal Tinkerer, for an interesting 2 Overseers, 1 Genesis mix, whereas Agent Coil is going for the much more traditional 2 Sleepers, 1 Varor mix. And we'll see how that plays out. Jacob didn't have a turn 1 play there, so Agent Coil just going to get a free zombie down. He is going to go for Fill the Graves. He does have Risen of Avarak in his hand. The 12 cost, it brings back a lot of units that are in the grave, and he's also got some decent incentives to have some things thrown directly to the graveyard. Hopefully we'll end up seeing some of those iterations later on. So far the board's developing quite nicely. The Death Ray used on Airborne Scientist. Interesting choice there. Agent Coil has the Infest. He thinks about throwing it down onto Splitterbot Light, but that's not a valid target. So he can't do that just yet. The rest of his cards looking decent. Battlefield Scavenger. Not too bad for getting some additional cards in hand. And worst case scenario, it makes a bit of an extra body on the field. Now, Jacob has a lot more in terms of resources and cards in hand that he can actually play. Mechanics Overseer would potentially be a good option here, but he just plays the Overloaded Drone, leaves it at that. Basic trade-off, and now he gets the Splitterbots out. He's already put up a pretty decent positioning on his field. Meanwhile, Agent Coil looking to respond in some way. Desolation would be good here. Doesn't really have any good targets for his Infest, so he can't really do that. Mechanics Overseer comes out. A little bit more of a beefy type card. They do both get hit by the Desolation. Mechanic does manage to live through that, and that's an easy cleanup from the Genesis bot. Now, Jacob's actually in a pretty strong enough position. Does have just as many cards in hand, but actually has the board presence that Agent Coil does not. Agent Coil actually still yet to take a single beat to the face though, so he's not doing too badly for himself. Infest comes out as well. He's going to also poison one of the splitter bots. Doing everything he can to try and defend off a little bit, because he will eventually become very strong. Fast forwarding here through the resolution, he's going to take his first little bit of damage. And here's actually one of the interesting cards. When he played Fill the Graves, he was able to bring out one of these, I believe it's a Risen of Avarok, and its basic whole premise is, oh, if this is in the graveyard for a couple of turns, it comes back to the support zone. So he basically got a free zombie, just for the heck of it. Always something nice that sleepers decks enjoy having. Jacob's position looking pretty good now. He's going to throw out some extra pressure there. He's aware of Risen of Avarok, not 100% sure what he needs to do with it. And here comes the Heat Wave. That's actually going to be a lot of characters killed off. And just like that, Agent Coil swung it back around in his favor. 4/4 trades for the 5/2, and instantly, Agent Coil's looking in a very favorable position right now. Not only that, but Jacob's taken a lot of morale damage, so he does need to be careful about that. Currently sitting on 66. Defense Golem, a fantastic choice, is also going to get the Wealthy Noble out. Meanwhile, a Letter Immortal Tinkerer has to be played. Jacob's slowly starting to run out of options and doesn't have a very clear plan of play here. He does have a flying unit that is going to just fly over his opponent's defenses, but now we have a 24 damage Death Worshipper on the field. He needs to deal with this. He needs to find a way to defend this off, because that is an overwhelmingly strong card, and more so than something he can deal with right now. Considering playing Harahel, decides against it. Oh, we'll come back to that, see what he finally thinks. Agent Coil thinks Death Ray onto a letter might be a good idea. Does have the other Death Ray, and I think he's going to decide against it. He does still have the 2 Hakims. They are 7 costs. He has exactly 7 resources. So that's actually a pretty decent play right now. He needs to rearrange his assault zones, so the 24 damage pops off last. Very smart. We'll see how the defense comes through. A letter is killed there. Fast forwarding through the effects a little bit. Yep, they get some buffs. Hakim gets some buffs. And the assault zone just wipes it through. Jacob brought down to 56 health now. Jumping over to Jacob's perspective. There's not many things he can do here. Does have to play the Harahel. Not necessarily the most efficient play, but it's not like he has many other ones. He's got a card in his hand specifically to deal with flying guys. There's nothing on Agent Coil's side of the field that has flying. There's no point. Looking at the Varroa Death Worshipper, it's just going to get bigger and bigger. Alright, looks like Agent Coil is just going to push for a lot of additional damage, just because he can. He does have a fairly safe position, and it's not like Overseers and Genesis can suddenly bring out like 80 points of damage. He's also going to throw the Death Ray down onto the Flying Genesis Construct. Trading post for an extra card. And let's see if he has enough damage. This could be lethal potentially. And he plays Harahel into the Assault Zone. Probably not a good choice. That could be the difference between winning the surviving the turn and not. Here comes the Assault Zone, people. They're just going to get knocked over. 56 health he's currently sitting at. Do we have enough in the support zone right now? There is a very, very large Death Worshipper at the end of that, and that is the end of the game. Brings him down to -2. 58 damage dealt in a single turn, and that's game 1 going to Agent Coil. And with a relatively clean game, Agent Coil draws first blood here in the first round. However, we still have another 3 rounds to get to, all of that and more happening next episode. See you there. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed, feel free to hit that subscribe button. Another thank you to our Patreon supporters, including Apollo P, Arcadian Adventure, David S, Dylan M, Helbin, Callie H, Matthew S, Neon725, Nicholas C, Parker Benjamins, and everybody else. Lots of love, and we'll see you all in the next video.